Any day now. All right, there we go. What's up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome back to a movie video, episode 108. Let's go. This week's pick was probably a, what would you call it? Regretful. I don't know if I'd call it regretful, but I definitely was like watching it with Krista, and I was like, we were just looking at each other, and I was like, she goes, when was the last time you saw this movie? And I was like, I don't know, like 10 years before I met you. And she was like, okay, that explains a lot. We watched The Doom Generation, and the whole time I just worried about Josh. The whole movie, I was concerned about Josh. I was like, oh, Jesus, what did I do to this guy? I was like, why am I making people watch this? But
I almost sent you that text. So, like, when was the last time you watched this, Randall?
I'll tell you like this. The last time that I actually watched this movie was on VHS. That's how long ago it was. Yeah, it was on VHS.
In the 90s.
Yeah, I just remembered it being like real crazy, Rose McGowan being real hot. And I remember that one scene where they did the sandwich, and I was like, dude, that would be funny if I made Josh watch that. But I didn't remember all the other stuff that happened in this movie, and it was a joke on me. But yeah, I was like watching it, and like, dude, there was many scenes in this movie where Chris and I just looked at each other, and I was like and I was just like, I don't know. And then we watched the uncut version, so like we watched like the whole thing. And like, and I was just like, well, my bad, honey. And we had to have a palate cleanser after the movie. Like we had to watch what's that show we watched together? We watched this zombie show where Drew Barrymore's in it. Santa Clarita Diet. We watch that all the time. It's like we watch it just like on repeat. Like whenever we want something in like 30 minutes, that's what we watch. We watch that because we can watch it over and over and over. Like it's a personal thing we like a lot that reminds them of. They remind us of us kind of, but you know, better looking in Hollywood. But
okay.
But yeah, this movie was definitely more, I don't know, visceral, maybe graphic, depressing than I remembered. It was more depressing. I thought it was more rock and roll than it turned out to be. I hadn't seen it again. I've only seen the movie maybe twice, and that was when I was real young, and I probably watched it back then because I wasn't supposed to. Now I will say this: I don't know that I didn't like the movie, but it was not what I was remembering because I didn't have a lot of memories about it. So definitely a shock to the system. So was this all y'all's first time watching this?
Yeah.
That's amazing. I kind of thought maybe Hugh had seen it, and I was like, there's a small chance Chris has seen this. And I was like, there is no chance Josh has watched this. He would have told me fuck right off if I had brought this up and he'd already seen it. And yeah, it's just like a story of these three youngsters that get intertwined with each other and go on this like,
it doesn't say what they're doing.
It's not even like a drug-filled rampage. It's like a sex-filled rampage where they go out and they just take this road trip and they have a bunch of weird promiscuous sex with each other. And I guess you're supposed to learn something about yourself in this movie. I don't know, but the ending of it is just wholly depressing. And like the nicest guy in the movie by 20 miles is the one guy that just gets the shaft, quite literally.
Yeah. Like so real quick. So the version Hugh, me, and Josh watched. Like I skimmed through the unrated version after I watched like the one we watched.
Okay,
they cut out a lot of that final scene.
I thought so because it kind of just jumps to the end.
Yeah, it does. There's a few like quick cuts of like, I'm sure something's missing here, but that last scene in particular. I mean,
there was some rough stuff in this movie, man. Like there was some really funny stuff. Like the acting was atrocious, but they were all like teenagers when this movie was made. So, well, except the one guy who just would not stop grossing me out. That fella was like, I don't know, 40, and they were like 19. I don't know. He looked like he was mad old. Yeah. But I don't really know what to say about this movie, man. Like I'm not often speechless, dude, but I was pretty much like, okay, this ought to be odd. Maybe uncomfortable, maybe just I thought there was a chance we would just sit here silent or we might just start laughing. I didn't know what was going to happen.
What made you pick the movie?
It's one of those ones where I thought about it one day and I was like, oh yeah, and I mentioned it. We looked it up, we couldn't find it, then we found out it was hard to find, it was out of print, and I was like, I wonder why that is. So we just went on. It was just one of those things where it just kind of snowballed into like, oh, I really want to watch this. Other than that, it was solely based on like two memories I had of Rose McGowan topless, and then the scene that I thought was hilarious, which was the ice cream sandwich, the weird threesome they had, I really was banking on that making me laugh, and it just did not work. Like, I mean, in hindsight, I'm laughing because I was just sitting there. Like, I mean, I got fairly uncomfortable watching this movie, dude. I don't really get uncomfortable very often. I don't get offended. I was just, it was basically what's it called? It felt like a movie that I had a memory of that was positive, and I don't know if maybe I must have watched like a cut version of it or something when I was younger. I don't know. But
I mean, one of my first thoughts was then Josh sent the picture of it the other day. Was
Chris said it's hard to find because no one wants to see it. You know.
So at the very beginning of the movie when they're going through like the title and the actor, so it says
a heterosexual film,
like
Greg.
I had to take a picture.
Well, they lied about that.
Yeah,
dude, that's what I was thinking.
If you have to point that out, it's probably
a heterosexual movie.
I mean, I think that was the whole joke about it. He was saying that because it's so clearly not.
Well, he was just covering his ass. They're like, no, this is totally straight.
Yeah, see, I don't think that. I think it was just a joke. I think he was being like, I'll put this in the front, and 20 minutes later, they're going to be real mad at me. But like, you know, I tell you what, though, this movie's popular. I've sold copies of it at the store already. So like that makes me kind of wonder, because the guy that I sold the boot to, he flat out told me, yeah, I've seen it a bunch of times. It's one of my favorite movies. And that got me like excited to watch it because I had no recollection of what happened throughout most of the movie. Carissa can verify this, dude. Most of the movie, I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize this was happening. Oh, geez, I forgot about this too. Oh God, I don't remember that happening. Like, well, what's he doing? Why is he eating it? Oh my God. Like, just, you know. this movie is meant
licking
for
his fingers.
An image. Oh, bro. Like, Julie, have you ever seen this movie, Julie? I feel like this is right up your alley. You should watch it at the shop. I'll bring you a copy.
I can totally see this being a weird culty movie, though. You know?
Yeah.
Well, it's very 90s. This movie is super 90s.
It is the 90s. It is like the
from the clothing.
It starts out. The movie starts with 9 Inch Nails heresy. It's like as 90s as it can possibly be.
I mean, for real though, that's absolutely correct.
That was gonna be my letterbox review. It was just the 90s were wild.
Oh man, I'll just put like, ooh, that was bitter as my review. But like, I didn't hate the movie. I just didn't expect it to be like that. So I need to rewatch it from a different vantage point, or just think about it and not have to rewatch it. I guess it's not one that I want to revisit often, but I certainly want to own it, I guess is the right way to say it. It feels so. Okay, here's the thing. This movie feels like, this is gonna sound so fucking weird. It feels like my childhood, dude. Like it feels like it feels well because everything's so familiar. The clothes, the music, like that, and meaning it in that, like the actual stuff that happens on camera, not necessarily. Oh, bro, you got to watch this movie. Don't be a pussy. Eat one. Damn, just got monetized today. Dude. They're like, well, that was an accident. Sorry, Horror Hangout, but you know, it's just it's the aesthetics remind me of everything that I knew growing up. Like there's movies like this, Natural Born Killers, all those movies have this same look. They have the same weird look, the same weird camera lenses, the same angles, the same kind of hair. It's all the same. And that's what was familiar to me. Everything else was kind of a shock to the system. I just didn't remember this being this way at all. It was interesting, man.
It's got some cool style to it, like the color of it. There's like a lot of cool lighting and like there's some interesting stuff about it. Like I got to the end of the movie and honestly, I was like, I don't know how to feel about this because I didn't hate it, but I also like did hate it.
It's kind of like that's almost exactly how I felt. I was like, ew, I want to watch it again. Like
it
was awful. I can't wait to rewatch it. Do what? Do what?
I went and bought the uncut one so that I could see it. I liked the movie, man. I thought it was pretty good.
Wait, you don't? I thought you had the uncut version.
No,
did you make
the 11 minutes gone version?
Oh, I thought Chris had them both on the same disc.
Well, I just sent him a link to the movie.
Oh, my bad, dude. I missed
I didn't have time to do discs.
Gotcha.
I liked it. I bought it. Yeah, I bought the extended one. So
I don't feel as bad about liking it now because I own 2 copies. One on Blu-ray that's a boot, and then one that's like a sealed copy on DVD that I'm not letting go of. But like, I didn't like the movie necessarily, but I certainly didn't hate it. I just need to rewatch it from a different vantage point, knowing what I'm getting into, because this movie definitely is grimy and sleazy, like the inside of my head. So it doesn't. I'm not bothered by anything that happened in this movie. I don't give a shit. None of that stuff bothers me.
There were a lot of weird sexuality things.
Very weird.
Like the hetero-flexible guy. There's like the polyamorous girl. Then they're kind of gay for each other. And I was like, what?
Bro, they were so gay for each other they didn't realize they were gay for each other.
They had more chemistry than
they did.
Dude and Rose McGowan did.
Bro, at one point, like maybe 2 or 3 separate times in the movie, me and Krista were like, "Oh, just kiss him!" Like, geez, Louise, my guy, it's
dog
so
agrees.
Clear. Do what?
The dog agrees,
right? Yeah, but like that super nice guy that gets it in the end, man. I felt bad for that dude. He got treated like absolute shit by everybody. Actually, you know what? Except the dude that was like the third wheel. He kind of treated him like he treated everybody. He didn't really treat him different. But the girl, you know, it didn't mean anything, right? Let me hold on a second. That doesn't mean anything at all. I'm just,
I hated all the characters. Like, I couldn't stand any of them.
Well, these people were just like all my friends growing up. Like, even with all the weird sex stuff, I had a lot of gay and bi friends growing up. So I mean, this was not out of the. This wasn't weird to me. It was very familiar.
Yeah, it's not about that. They're just all pieces of shit. Like,
no, I'm just saying. Like, I had friends that were all
pieces of shit.
Yeah, I had a lot of pieces of shit. Dude, I mean, you want to be honest about that? I had a lot of pieces of shit friends, but I was also a piece of shit back then. So I can't really. I'm not throwing stones. I was not a very great person to hang around either. We were all just miserable. We were depressed and doing dumb shit. The girl was a pretty big piece of crap. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even need a movie to be like, likable. Yeah. But they just weren't. They were just shitty and like not that interesting to me. Like they're just being shitty, but they were kind of flat.
I found them interesting, but like I found them interesting maybe for what's that word, man? Like the word that it's like it's not familiar, but like when you go back on something and you watch a movie because you liked it when you were a kid, what's that called? You do it because
nostalgic.
Yeah, for nostalgic reasons. I found them a little bit interesting. So I can totally understand why you had no desire to learn anything about these people, because they wouldn't be interesting to you. You're 10 years younger than me, and you've had none of the experiences that I had up until like my 30s. So like we were very different people until we met. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, it would make sense that you would be like, yeah, not really.
In a way, this movie kind of reminded me the movie that Chris picked, Badlands.
Oh,
it's like a weird like Bonnie and Clyde road movie, except it's just like the 90s super gay version.
It's Bonnie and Clyde. Yeah. Babe, what'd you feel about the dude that got the super nice guy? You thought he was awful too? I thought he was all right. I felt like he was a really genuinely nice person. Like he was
he's a nice guy, but like
his acting was so bad I couldn't.
Well, his acting certainly was not good. That is for sure, dude. So I had this movie called what is it? Oh, right here. I had this movie called Cornered. Me and Harry watched it at the store one night. This is the catalyst for all the shit that I put y'all through. This was the first movie that I watched where I realized that, I just like shitty movies. Because this is an absolutely terrible movie. But it's also got that dude in it, James Duval. That's the same guy.
Okay.
That's why I was bringing it up. It's got that same dude in it, and everything that he's in, he has the exact same hair. He's like a bootleg Keanu Reeves. I mean, he's just like
kind of.
Yeah,
he's probably see that.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just. I don't know what to think about the movie. I didn't think it was necessarily terrible. I didn't really enjoy it, but I did not enjoy it. I don't know, man. It was a very awkward movie for me to watch. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, there's kind of interesting events that happen throughout.
Yeah, I can see that. Intolerably dumb.
Yeah,
you use bigger words than me, sweetheart.
Yeah, I was enjoying just Rose McGowan's insults through the entire movie.
Dude,
she had some really good ones.
And she had some really bad ones.
Yeah, but they were all still good.
Eat my fuck.
Yeah.
Eat my fuck, yeah.
No, so I've said eat my fuck before, and I didn't know why. It had to be from this, because I wouldn't have heard it anywhere else. But I mean, come on, dude. When I was like 17, 16 years old watching this movie, her in the bathtub, I'm positive I paused it.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm like, I mean, come on, dude. Like, she was so good looking back then. What happened to that? She turned into like a legit psycho, man. Isn't she like a crazy person now? She shaved her head and went crazy.
I have no idea.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she like, I think to my understanding, she went nuts. She was with Marilyn Manson for all those years.
But she's like ultra feminist now, I think.
She's the ultimate goth girl in this movie, though. She was like represented goth really well in this movie.
Or goth, maybe goth. I just think 90s alternative.
90s, yeah, alternative. Specific. She had a little Doc Martens and a little dress. Yeah.
Yeah, that all kind of fell in the same box when I was in high school.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, she fits.
Yeah,
true.
Grunge
kids.
Like,
grunge. There you go. Very grunge. Yeah, grunge kids. Like, yeah, I don't know, man. This is a weird one, dude. This is the first movie that got me in a like where I don't really know what to say at all. Like, usually I can be like, yeah, it was terrible. I would almost rather be able to say it was terrible because I don't really know what to say. Other than I kind of enjoyed watching it. It's kind of hilarious. I was sitting here all awkwardly fumbling over our words, not really knowing what to say. It's pretty hilarious.
It works off the love-hate continuum, though. She hated the guy, and she slept with him, moved to loving him. Well, I guess they were stuck at the end of the movie, but...
Yeah.
Yo, was that tattoo that bad, or was it just like a busted tattoo? I couldn't tell, man. It looked horrible.
Oh, the one with the big tribal thing?
Yeah.
Whoa, great tattoo, man.
Thanks, Keanu. Bro. Oh, dude. Yeah, that tattoo was pretty rough, man. Dude. I don't know, man. That movie was weird.
Yeah, I kind of dug it. I don't know if I'm gonna go out and buy it or anything, but
no, I like my boot though.
I might. Yeah, I might just make one for myself just to throw up on the shelf. Yeah,
I will definitely watch it again at some point. I don't know when or why. It says it's part of a trilogy. I'm kind of interested to find out what the other two movies are. I guess Nowhere is another one. I guess.
Yeah, because I got that other one for you, Nowhere. Nowhere,
but it's
that
only
one looks wild too.
Yeah, so it's got James Duvall in it. Yay! So we'll see how he does. That kid, I just find him so. Honestly, kind of refreshing because no matter what kind of shitty hand he got dealt, I think that's really what I liked about the whole movie was that no matter what kind of shitty hand that dude got dealt, he was still like a nice guy. And I mean, yeah, it's stupid, and he really should have been a little more meaner, and maybe should have took up for himself a little bit more. But man, every single day of my life right now, I'm surrounded by negative people that just no matter what you do for them, they're never happy. They're never satisfied. So I think it was just a little refreshing, just a little, to see a guy who was just eternally in a good mood and like, let shit roll off his shoulders, regardless of the consequences. It's not all a good thing, but I found it a little refreshing to have somebody that was, overwhelmingly positive, albeit dumb.
You mean like the given the fact that the dude was nailing his woman, or is that what?
No, just in general, he was like nothing really bothered him in general. Like so many people, you can't make them happy no matter what you do for them. It was just a little refreshing to finally see somebody that was just like, man, I can't change it.
Yeah, she comes down on him pretty aggressively at times, and he's kind of like, okay, babe, he just.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just kind of like, it is what it is. Like, again, it was to a fault, and this is more like a caricature of somebody that I would actually want to be around like that. But it does send a message, man. Like, I mean, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm surrounded by internet shit all day and it is a little exhausting. It's just nonstop angry people for no reason. Like, no matter what you do, they're not happy. And this dude at least was a little bit different than that, is all I was trying to say, really. It's not some profound thing. He's not some great character or anything. It was a little refreshing to not be just another guy in that movie. To be a bummer would have been, I couldn't have handled it, dude. It would just, oh God.
Hey, remember the belt buckle when they're looking at
holographic belt buckle?
I want that belt buckle so bad.
They got a belt buckle of this little rodeo thing, and you can tilt it, and the little Bronco bucks the rider.
It's got a what's that called, Chris? When you do the comic books, have a what kind of cover? A lenticular. It's a lenticular belt buckle.
And man, they're just spacing out on this belt buckle. Hey, check out my belt buckle.
Yeah, he was spacing out on that hog, dude. He was like, "Hey, whip that bad boy out, slap me in the forehead with it." Dude, there was a few points where I thought that bad boy was coming out, and I was like, "Uh-oh, here we go." I mean, we got a big ball bag on the bathroom scene. Wait, was that in y'all's scene? Did y'all get to see the ball bag, or was that just me?
Probably just you.
I don't think so.
Well, congratulations, y'all didn't have to see his testicles. I definitely did.
Yeah, that probably was what they were trying to cut for the R rating.
Oh,
of the version.
You mean when he jumped in the tub with her and he took off his
his balls are hanging out the back.
Yeah.
Oh, you kind of can see that actually.
Oh,
that
dude,
was a weird scene.
I got a big ass TV. I saw all of it, dude.
So that was a really odd scene, right? The dude and he had just had this really intimate conversation with each other. He goes into the bathroom and pees in front of her, and somehow the next thing they're in the tub, going at it. And I was
I had a thought about that.
Dude, I don't even know, bro.
It seems like almost every time those two guys talked or did something, he went to have sex with Rose McGowan.
Yeah, well, that was his turn on. He was into the dude like pretty hardcore.
He got turned on by him
exactly,
and went to her.
Right.
But otherwise he couldn't do it. Like
how tragic is that?
Well, at the very beginning of the movie, like they tried to do it and he couldn't.
Yeah.
Yep.
Until dude comes in and
hence the heterosexual film by Greg Naraki.
And that's why he was okay with the arrangement, because
he's his Viagra.
It was working.
Bro, okay, look. So here's buddy. He's his little blue pill.
Get a little cut going.
Am I the only one that found it just absolutely gnarly that she licked her finger, put it in his butt, and then licked it again because she didn't get it slippery enough? Like, she did that multiple times. Like, she went ass to mouth more than once.
Yeah, I think we don't think we got that part.
Dude, I got the real version of this movie. You guys are posers.
I was like, wait, I think I missed that part.
Yeah, she the third wheel guy is like making out with her and they're getting it on, and he tells her, he's like, hey, stick your finger in my asshole. He straight up says it just like that. And she's like, what? No, I would never do that. And he goes, just do it. And then so she does it, right? But she licks her finger, tries it, and he goes, ow, ow. And then she pulls it out, licks it again, and then puts it back in. And then she does it. Yeah, dude.
I love Rose McGowan, man.
Dude, it was a Tic Tac commercial, bro. fucking certs, dude. Mentos, the fresh maker. But but she does it again with the other guy.
Man,
I'm so glad that you noticed
fun.
that, babe. I'm so glad that you noticed that, because I was legitimately like, I'm gonna keep this to myself. That was pretty nasty. Like, that's hilarious. Oh man, this is definitely a conversation starter. Hey, you ever seen Doom Generation? No, what's it about? Oh, buddy, like I don't know, man. This is
so many random things too. Every time they pay for something, it's 666.
Yeah,
every time.
And every person they meet knows the girl and is immediately in love.
I was trying to figure out, is that all real? Is she just like a runaround Sue? Is she just a straight up whore, or is it all? None of them actually know her, because she sure did act like none of them knew her.
Yeah, I just took it as that was the thing of the movie. They just she didn't seem like she got out very much until
we're talking some nasty shit, Julie.
So yeah, that was just the movie's thing that they meet these crazies, and
I like the store owner guy. He's like, no, you're gonna pay for it right now, and I was like, oh man, what's that? And then the wife, oh dude. So whenever they show the picture of the wife, and she's like, oh, she has that little thing on, like a little visor thing. I pointed out to Carissa, I was like, hey, doesn't she look like the lady from oh my goodness. Babe, what's the movie called? The Korean movie that was like my favorite movie. Oh my god, dude. It just came out like
favorite movie?
Came out like 2 years ago. It was
Parasite?
Parasite. She looked like the lady from Parasite whose husband was locked in the basement downstairs. That's what the store owner's wife.
Yes.
No shit. Was it her?
It was her SAT score too. Yeah. Yes, it was.
Well,
definitely.
If you read the title, you'd know what we were talking about, instead of just talking about fucking Juice WRLD songs. Anyways, this is not a music reaction live. Facts. That's why it has a different thumbnail and a different title. but whatever. 'Tis what it is. Yeah, I don't know, man. It was an interesting film, to say the least.
The end was like leather vest crew, bed behind the building.
It was like a bunch of MAGA dudes coming in there to like castrate old buddy.
And then that was it. Like, I didn't know if that was, I guess, when I get the extended version or something, maybe I'll understand it more.
Yeah, they had the scene where they, we're going to track her down is what I don't remember what it was, but that went nowhere.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought they just randomly appeared in their lives and shut the movie down, but that makes more sense now. The guy was the boyfriend was after the guy who thought he recognized her.
Yeah, dude, that guy looked familiar to me, but I don't think I know him from anything. I think he just looked familiar. But yeah, man, interesting movie, man.
Did you recognize? I can't remember which store they went in to buy food, and it was 666. One of them, the guy behind the counter, was Perry Farrell from.
Yes, I pointed that out to Krista too. I said that's the guy from Jane's Addiction. Yeah,
they played a Porno for Pyro song in it too.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah.
This movie is like legitimately a time capsule, dude. If you ever want to visit the 90s, just pop this in.
Did you notice the
Boone's Farm? So glad that it's not the 90s anymore. Do what?
There was a poster on the front of one of the convenience stores that said Boone's Farm $1.99. I was like, oh
no, but that's amazing. Dude, I used to drink so much Boone's Farm, bro.
I know Boone's Farm.
$2.
Yeah, I used to have my buddy Seth, man. I wish he was here so he would just shake his head and be like, "Get out of here." He used to walk in my room and it would just kick over bottles of Boone's Farm because they would be littered my floor with them, dude. It was just, I mean, I had my entire window seal covered with them. My desk was covered with them. No, dude. I used to drink like 3 or 4 a night and just be perpetually hungover every day.
Yeah, those things are so sweet. I mean, you're just drinking.
It was the worst, dude. I felt like absolute shit. But I was like 22 years old, 21. So I had endless amounts of energy. Not to mention
$2.
Not to mention a super white powdered substance to go along with Boone's Farm real nice.
I could find spare change in my couch and
go get a bottle of Boone's. That's right.
Yeah, I mean, it was $1.38 for a 40 of Bush.
That's so gross. My first apartment that I ever got, actually it's my second. I'm sorry. My first one was out in the hood on the north side. My first apartment that I got, that was mine, not with a roommate or a girlfriend or anything, was on Westheimer and Gessner. So if you're not from Houston, you won't know where that's at, but it's in a pretty crummy part of Houston. And literally, you would go out my door, and my door faced a parking structure. And so if you walked out that door, there was a parking structure and then a fence. And if you'd walk out the fence, and I lived right by the exit, so it was actually kind of convenient. If you walked out the fence, right on the other side of it was a convenience store. And they sold Lucy cigarettes. They sold Boone's Farm. And they had so much of that stuff. It was in the ice bins up in the front. That's all anybody bought out there, man. But they sold Lucy's. I remember they sold Lucy cigarettes. It was the only place that I've ever been able to go in there and be like, damn, I only got 50 cents. Can I get 2 cigarettes? And they'd give me 2. Most places are like, no, you got to buy a pack, dummy. And so they used to sell Lucy's, but they only sold Lucy's of filters, Marlboro Reds, and then Newports. They only had a couple of brands that they would break the packs open because that's they're not going to give you a smorgasbord of just choices to make. Right. No, you're in here broke. You got to smoke Marlboros. I was like, but hella fun, good times, man. Yeah. This movie was. I actually think this movie was probably warranting a much higher grade than it actually deserves from me, just because it's so reminiscent of my, late teens, early 20s. That I'm going to give it a 7 probably out of 10. I don't think it goes any higher than that for any reason, but
I was never bored. I'll say that.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I legitimately wondered throughout the movie multiple times what each of you guys, not just Josh, I was just being silly, but I wondered what each of y'all would be thinking. I was thinking I wonder if Hugh's gonna dig this at all, because I thought maybe you had seen it, and then I was thinking I wonder if Chris is watching this around Megan right now, and then I thought I bet Tori left the room, and because my poor sweet wife sat there and watched it with me the entire damn movie. Dude, she had so I'm sitting to her right and I'm looking to my left and looking at her face, and the light's hitting her face, and her facial expression never changed the whole movie. It was just stuck like this. Not disgusted, but also not happy. Just what in the fuck?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that's my review of the movie. What in the fuck?
90s.
Yeah, 90s. Yeah. But man, it was entertaining though. I'm glad I watched it. I'm kind of glad y'all watched it because it's yeah, it's accurate. But I tell you what, man, watching this by myself probably wouldn't have been near as entertained. But getting to watch stuff with my wife all the time, especially when it's something crazy, where I really do enjoy watching movies with her, and I love talking with you guys about it. If you were to just go, hey Randall, go watch Doom Generation and review it, I would have almost nothing to say about it because it's kind of a bland movie for being so explicit.
I mean, plot wise, for sure. I mean,
that's kind of what I mean. Yeah,
really not a lot there.
yeah.
But yeah, it's still surprisingly fun and semi interesting, depending on.
Well, it's a time machine, man. This is a good one to go back and watch if you're interested in what it was like, what alternative lifestyles were like in the 90s. Because I think this movie, like if you look at my title of the video, I put The Doom Generation, a film way ahead of its time. I stand by that. I think this movie was way ahead of its time because back then, this was a movie that you only found on the bottom shelf behind some other shit. Nobody wanted to watch this movie. Nobody talked about it being good. It's only gotten popular in the last 5 years, probably. You know, I mean, when things like this became not just acceptable, but like, you know, almost the norm, the people that live and behave that way, you know? So, yeah, it's definitely a fun. I bet this movie would kill if it came out right now. They just changed the title, updated the terrible video quality. Boy, I tell you, man, it was rough.
Yeah, that was what kept us off the unrated.
I watched it on the big TV too, man. It was kind of tough, but whatever, man. I've watched much worse than that. Yeah, so Doom Generation, folks, if y'all watched it, let us know what you think. If you have never seen it, well, try to find a copy somewhere. But if you watch it, let us know in the comments what you think about it. Is anybody out there that's with us right now or in the future seen Nowhere? Is that what it's called, Chris? Nowhere?
Yeah.
Yeah, Nowhere. It's another one of the movies. And what's the third movie in the trilogy? I don't even know.
I don't know. I didn't go that far.
But I would, oh, yeah, man. Dude, oh, yes. Oh, yeah. The zombie head and the first store owner is quintessential 90s. 100%. Dude, it looked like the 90s, it sounded like the 90s, and it behaved like the 90s.
I was gonna say too, he went into the gas station and bought a yo-yo.
Bro, come on, dude.
That's right.
Yes.
That's Charlie. Anybody met my daughter?
Yo-yos were huge in the 90s.
With the shrimp nuggets.
Dude, every bit of food that they ate in that movie was nauseating.
Yes.
The nachos that she got, or whatever nachos that she got, it looked like they had just had paint thrown on them, and I was like, "Oh, she gonna eat that?"
A pile of pre-made nachos in a little plastic thing with,
bro.
What about the hot dog smorgasbord he had,
dude? Oh yeah. It looked like you couldn't tell where the bun ended, so you just had to just hope you grabbed the right part. Oh yeah, this movie was gnarly.
Yeah, and every time they went in and bought all kinds of crap like that, it was $6. So I was like, wait, was stuff that cheap back then, or they just
part of it was cheap that cheap back then, man. I was watching what was I watching? I was watching something, and they were talking about that. They had photographs from the mid 90s, and like gas was like 92 cents, and I was just like, good grief, dude, what was that like? Mm-hmm. And they had signs on the side of a corner store that said any size fountain drink 25 cents, stuff like that, where it's like, you know, nowadays it's like $1.29 for that. Pretty big increase in percentage.
Yeah. I'm sure Hugh could give us a chart.
Hugh loves charts. That's our theme song now. Hugh loves charts. Welcome back to the show, everybody.
Don't get me started. I'll have them up here in a minute.
Be careful what you wish for.
Right. Awesome, dude. Did anybody? We just talked a few days ago. Did anybody get a chance to watch anything else besides this movie?
I watched a few things.
What else did you watch, Josh?
Let me see. What was this? If I can remember. Oh, I watched a few. Well, we all watched Halloween Ends.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Talk about that.
Let's talk about Halloween Ends. So, ew, gross. Chris says the gas station hot dogs were foreshadowing. You know what? God. Yeah, you're kind of right. All three of them in a big mushy pile. Oh man, Carissa with the win.
Gross.
Or the loss, maybe, I don't know. Halloween Ends, dude. I mean, I knew it was going to be divisive. I'm trying to not be argumentative. I really liked it. You guys seem to not like it at all.
Yep, it was bad.
Dog agrees. Hugh, did you like it or no?
I didn't like it so much that it made me angry.
That's how I felt too.
Man, it wasn't. I don't even understand that, but whatever. Chris, how are you feeling about it? Lukewarm, or you hated it as well?
It didn't make me angry, but I won't say I hated it, but it was pretty bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. I genuinely thought it was pretty good. I thought y'all would like it, man. I really did. I had faith that y'all would like it. I mean, I can understand why you don't, but I thought, man, this is just left to center enough that they're going to be like, hell yeah, because I feel like, and you know what, Josh, tell me what was wrong with it so much, because you're going to point out things that I didn't even think about. So, just tell me what was like wrong with it. What's the word? Like,
I mean, the thing I pointed out in the text, I think, was just that all the characters made choices that just didn't make sense to me. Like, and that didn't follow the way they had been set in previous movies.
I liked that about it, but I can see why you didn't. But that's one thing that I pointed out in my review that I liked about them, that they made different choices and that I thought they were more fleshed out and more. They became an interesting character because they were so damn boring in the other movies. But I can understand why it drove you nuts. You know. Yeah.
I don't know, man. It did not work for me at all.
Yeah.
I don't want to get in an argument about it.
No. I'm not trying to argue with you about it. I just wanted to know, like, what's the word I'm looking for here? Was it bad cinematography, or was it just bad writing, or was it bad directing?
I mean, it comes down to the script.
Okay.
Definitely. Yeah. Like,
I'm not going to say that you're wrong about this. I'm trying to not think that way anymore. I'm really trying
that they were like trying to maybe subvert expectations. Like they wanted to, like, this is the epic conclusion. They wanted to kind of do a swerve and do something unexpected. But in that way, it just felt like sort of a slap in the face to the fans. Like you don't necessarily have to just go like I didn't like I didn't like Halloween Kills either, because it just felt like slasher dumb stupid characters, like
yeah,
it was like too simple and too dumb.
Yeah,
and like this one,
it's like they could have combined the two to make a good film, but they didn't. They went the money route and tried to get two films out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think either of these movies should exist. Like it just felt like they didn't have an actual story, and they were just kind of stretching for ideas.
That's what
I can't say that you're wrong there, dude. I cannot say you're wrong.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It looks like they had no clue what they really wanted to do from the jump, and then we're just kind of making it up as.
They shouldn't have ever made Halloween Kills to begin with. If they hadn't have made that, they might have ended up with a good movie.
It's all money, dude. It just
I'm not even going to say that it was necessarily good. I just enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Objectively, I don't know. I don't even care at this point. I'm trying to get to where I can just accept somebody's opinion being vastly different and not let it bother me at all. And I think this is a good way to start doing that, because with this one, I don't think you're wrong at all. I knew it was going to be one of those movies like that.
I think your review is really good. I think it recognized a lot of that. Like you were saying, look, some people are not going to like this movie.
Yeah.
And I also can see why people did like the movie. Like it wasn't bad. It looked okay. And, if you weren't really super deeply entrenched into the lore of Michael Myers or something like that, you could probably see like, it was,
Part of that's the reason why I liked it. I'm not a giant Halloween fan.
The end did some justification for the community and stuff. So, I can see your point, really. I don't think you're very, closed-minded on it or anything.
I can completely understand why it's so divisive and so just off-putting to some people. Because if you're a huge fan of Halloween and Michael Myers is your dude, this movie is going to disappoint the shit out of you, man. But if I just went hoping it wasn't Halloween Kills. And maybe that's part of why I liked it as much as I did. I still have only watched it the one time. So, upon further viewings, I may end up going, you know what, you're right, and seeing things. Because I was just so excited that it wasn't Halloween Kills, because I hated that movie so much. But, like, I think that they kind of got to a point to where they had this situation on their hands. And maybe even they had, like, a story written, right? And they were like, okay, well, we're going to end this franchise anyways. So let's just make the movie, and whatever happens, happens, because they don't really have any consequences at this point. It's either going to be over, or they're going to figure out some way to make it later on come back. But these people aren't involved anymore, and I think that they can rest on their laurels, thinking like, okay, we got Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. Anybody that likes either kind of those movies are satisfied now, and I'm not that I agree with that necessarily, but maybe that's what they were thinking. I don't know.
That was kind of what I was a little worried about, is like, okay, they ended it, right? But they ended every movie. He dies like every movie. Shot 25 times, eyes gouged out.
He dies in a few of them, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he dies in a few of them, that's for sure.
So I'm like, oh, is this really the end? Is this another head fake?
I like that we got that kid in there and that they killed him. I was so freaking happy when he died.
Oh, I was worried about that. Yeah.
I was worried that he was going to live, and I was like, oh, this isn't ending anything. You guys are just laughing at us.
They were going to sequelize it through him.
I really thought they were going to turn him into Michael Myers or turn him into whatever you want to call him, the Shape, And part of the reason why I liked it is because I was so relieved when that kid died that I was like, oh, thank God. Because that would have, you talk about infuriating, dude, I would have been livid had that been like he made it out and that's the new guy. I would probably never watch another one of those films again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they spend most of the movie with him, though. It's like that's the whole thing. Like, he sucks. So
yeah,
I just don't want to watch.
I think it was all a big red herring, and they just didn't do it. The execution was probably not even probably. The execution was done poorly. Yes, I do agree with you 100% that Jamie Lee Curtis got her swan song, and I feel like Michael Myers should have gotten a little more camera time.
Yeah, like they should have made this like the first. If it was the first or second movie, I think it wouldn't have felt as out of place because it's the end. It's the third movie of a trilogy. So like you're gonna focus on this. I
feel like no matter what they did, they're gonna piss people off with this movie because there's no way to end this in a satisfactory way.
I mean, probably, but just I don't know. Like for Jamie Lee to go through all the like, I'm gonna kick his ass and we're gonna fight him, and then completely flip her script and just be a a suburban grandma, and then just go, I'm gonna fight you, die, and then like she should have started off as that.
She still had like grandma. little hints of like her old self. It was definitely now we're picking it apart. I'm liking it less and less. Jesus Christ.
Just anticlimactic, like I just there's a certain amount of fans like I'm okay with like doing something a little unexpected, but there is a certain amount of fan service, especially in a third and in this, rebooted trilogy that there's a certain amount of fan service that the fans expect, and for them to make him like basically like geriatric, like
dude,
hiding in
the
sewers and like.
I loved that because I was like, dude, it's about time. He's like 70 years old, dude. He's been beat to shit. Like you just said, he's been shot, stabbed, burnt. I mean, come on. At what point does he not finally slow down?
Yeah, but he goes from like the Terminator in the last movie. I mean, completely invincible. Like
I'm not saying that's wrong because
he got shot and stabbed. He got shot and stabbed so many times at the end of that movie. I don't know if he got shot.
But this was 4 years after that, so I mean, he had lots of time to like. Not
panhandle and
but why is that? Why did they set it 4 years later?
I don't know, but they did.
That makes no sense. Like,
I agree. That does not make sense.
That should not have been the case. Like, they could write anything they want, and they decided to.
Remember, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just pointing things out. But yeah, you're not wrong about that. What's up, dude? How are you, Dominic? But yeah, no, it's definitely flawed. I want to watch it again. I look, man. Bottom line is I don't really care about Halloween as a franchise, so it doesn't really matter to me. I'm glad it's over with, and I'm glad it wasn't Halloween Kills. And after that, I don't really care other than that. It was,
I just didn't feel like the internet.
See, that's kind of what I was thinking, but it also, why'd they make it 4 years down the road? It doesn't make a lot of sense. But yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But this is going to be a hard landing to stick no matter what they did. There was going to be a very large group of people that were pissed off no matter what this movie ended up being. So I feel kind of like if I would never have signed on to be a part of this, dude, because I would be like, I don't want people hating me, because no matter what I do, they're not gonna like it. You might make this guy happy, but this guy's gonna be mad. You make this guy happy, but this guy's mad. Make this group happy, but this group's mad. And it's one of those things that's because it is precious to a lot of people.
Yeah,
Michael Myers is important to a lot of people.
Even 2018 was pretty divisive. Like I think,
and that's my favorite one of the whole franchise.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's generally well received, but still kind of divisive among fans. I don't know. It just
I mean, that's nobody can really. It's hard to please. I'm learning this the hard way doing any kind of review of any kind of art, that no matter what it is, man, you say anything at all, if it's not glowingly positive, you piss off a giant section of people no matter what you do. So I can't imagine making the art, dude, making the film, making the song.
Yeah,
I'm glad I just sit back on my YouTube channel and critique things and talk about it with my friends. That's good enough for me, man, because I can't even do this right sometimes. I can't imagine what it would be like if I was, But what else did y'all watch this week? Anything else?
So I watched several Tobe Hooper movies.
What movie sucked, Dominic? Ooh, what'd you watch?
I watched Eaten Alive.
Okay.
I watched
you watched The Funhouse?
I watched The Funhouse.
Oh, that's a good one.
The Funhouse was really good. I really enjoyed that one. And I watched Life Force.
I don't know if I've seen that one. Maybe
which Chris brought me the 4K when he came over to watch the game.
Hell yeah.
This weekend. So I watched that, and all three of them were kind of a blast. I also watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 not too long ago.
Oh, I love that movie.
So
did you like it or no? I can't remember.
It's absolutely bonkers.
No, it's definitely silly.
I can't say I didn't like it. There's a mania.
Let's go.
There's like a mania to his movies. Like they just feel unhinged.
Yeah, I agree.
You kind of just like it. They just make you feel really uncomfortable,
Nice.
and I kind of appreciate that about them. Life Force is awesome. I love Life Force.
I don't know that I've seen that one. I might have to go back and watch that one. Hugh, have you seen that, Hugh?
Yeah, I think they played it at Alamo not too long ago.
Oh, did they?
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
I've been missing a lot of movies up there, unfortunately. I do have a ticket for this Friday, though, so I will be there. I'm going to be there regardless. I may have to go change in the bathroom, but I'll be there.
Yes.
I really love this movie. The Guests are freaking... I've seen that movie like 7 times.
Really?
It's so
Guest
good.
is dope. Yeah.
Oh, this movie's amazing, dude. I can't wait to watch the movie.
I haven't seen it since like it first came out. I watched it back then, but I remember really liking it.
Terrifier is my favorite movie, and Terrifier 2 I liked it a lot. That's also a divisive movie. There's some people I'm hearing some largely positive, but I'm hearing some negative stuff. The stuff that I'm hearing all kind of falls in line with what you guys said.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Hugh, what else did you watch this week, dude?
Man, I watched a lot of weird pinky ego movies.
Wait, you like that stuff? What?
Yeah.
Oh,
my jam.
Sorry, continue. I'll tell you what I knew I watched something. I couldn't remember what it was, and I remembered. Sorry.
How about this? I watched this one, Naked Blood. It was pretty wild. It's like these people take a pill that makes them feel pleasure when they feel pain, and so they just mutilate themselves because they're like, "Oh,
what's that called? That sounds amazing."
Naked Blood. Yeah,
dude,
it was wild.
Dude, I'm interested in that one for sure.
And then I watched Wife to Be Sacrificed.
All right, I just need you to write all these down and just send me a list.
And one other one, Go Second Time Virgin.
I know I poke at you sometimes, but I'm 100%.
Is that the sequel to Go First Time Virgin?
That was a pretty rough movie, actually. But yeah, there's some weird, obscure titles I've looked for.
I mean, if that's why he didn't like Terrifier 2, he must not like Terrifier 1 either. They're not really there for the story per se. Man, I'm interested in those movies, Hugh. Those sound awesome.
Yeah, I'd definitely say Naked Blood was very, very surprising. I have 4 movies by this guy, and they're nothing alike. Not a single one of them. And
that's cool, though. That's good. That's good stuff,
really
too.
Surprising. I'll loan it out to you for sure.
Dude, hell yeah. I'd love to watch it, because if it's good enough, or if I like it enough, rather, not good enough, but if I like it enough, I'll buy a copy of it. Chris, what else did you watch?
So the only thing I was able to squeeze in this weekend was I watched The Handmaiden again after some Park Chan-wook movies last week. That one was still on the list. So yeah, I rewatched that the extended cut. So it was like 2 hours and 40 or something like that.
Oh,
nice.
And man, that movie's great. I really, really like that movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna rewatch it soon before the new one comes out.
I mean, there's a bunch of stuff I need to rewatch here in the next few weeks. The Wolf Creek stuff, I don't like the TV show very much, but the first 2 movies are probably, I don't know, dude. Wolf Creek 1, honestly, that should be in my top 10. I love that movie. That dude, Mickey is one of the best bad guys of all time. And I just watched Wolf Creek 2 the other day, oddly enough, which is strange that you brought that up. Sleepaway Camp is super mid.
Yeah.
But I watched do what?
I was going to ask you about Wolf Creek. Isn't it Australian?
Yes, dude. It is one of the best slasher movies that I've ever seen, dude. It is so badass. It is actually kind of scary, and I don't say that very often about horror movies. It is hard to watch, dude. It's not really not hard to watch in like Irreversible type of hard to watch, but it's a pretty scary movie, man. It's good. It's a good horror movie.
I've heard good
Which movie is this? I'm sorry, I missed it. Sorry.
Wolf Creek 1 and 2.
Wolf Creek. Oh, yeah. That's rough,
dude. It's a good movie, man. But I watched The Bride Wore Black finally. I need to rewatch the last act, but I watched most of it and then I passed in and out for a little while because we watched it kind of late. But dude, Carissa loved it, so I'm excited to rewatch the last part of it. But I liked it quite a bit from what I remember. But I have that on Laserdisc and DVD, so I was going to go ahead and keep the Laserdisc of it since I liked it so much.
It's French,
Very
right?
Cool.
Yes.
I think so.
I almost said Italian, but I think it is French. No, it's French.
I can't remember the name. That's a pretty famous French director.
I'm blanking on his name, but
it was pretty.
Is it Male?
I hope you're not asking me.
Let me not. Francois Truffaut.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
You speak French?
Me? No.
Yeah. You nailed that, Truffaut. I would have said that totally different.
I mean, I'm a film geek, so I've definitely heard his name before.
I've heard his name before too. So
yeah, that's the only reason I know how to pronounce it.
Well done.
I enjoyed that movie quite a bit. It is it's one of those movies that it is a slow burn. It's an intelligent movie. It's kind of I'm surprised that Quentin Tarantino likes it so much because to me it doesn't really fit with the stuff that I've seen that I know he likes. But he's got a very broad spectrum of things that he enjoys, I imagine, and I just have a very small idea what some of that might be. So
yeah,
I just watched it. Was like, oh, interesting. But like that dude's got, I mean, it's Quentin Tarantino. But like I was like, it's right up my alley, dude. It's. I think you're gonna love it, Josh.
Really?
I'm pretty sure that Hugh and Chris will like it too, but I think you specifically are gonna really like this movie. I hope I'm right. I can't tell anymore. I seem to not know what the hell I'm going on about. You know, horror movies. Trick or Treat, I watch every year on Halloween. I watch Hocus Pocus with the kids. I watch Trick or Treat. I watch Terrifier, and then like all the classics. Halloween time isn't really for deep cuts, man. Halloween's for all the classics, at least in my opinion. That's when I break out the DVDs and get the classic going. But I just did a video with Stephen Farshid. I got one dropping tomorrow and one dropping on Thursday. We did Trick or Treat and Terrifier on one video, and we split it into two parts. But I think y'all will like the videos. They were hella fun. We got more coming in November. We're going to be doing Basket Case and
oh, nice.
Yeah, he's never seen any of these movies, so it's freaking insane to do this with him. We're doing Basket Case and something else, but they're both ridiculous.
Okay. Y'all's videos together are always great.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. We'd love to hang out and talk. Yeah, I think Josh will like it too. She doesn't know Hugh as well. I think Hugh will dig it too. Chris, I'm pretty sure you'll like it. I'd be surprised if you didn't. But I have a feeling that one's going to rank very high on Josh's list.
Yeah, okay. I mean, Truffaut's a French art house.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Director. I don't know much about him. I just know that movie was supposed to be, highly what's the word, like influential to Kill Bill.
I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
Man, you need to go out and see all these movies you haven't seen, Dominic. What are you talking about, bro? Are you a big horror fan? I don't know. It doesn't say that you are on your thing or anything, so I don't know. You're just a movie fan. But yeah, man. Whose week is it this week?
Is it mine?
I think Chris's.
I think it is Chris's. Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was mine, so I was looking a movie up in the background.
Word up. What do we got going on, bro?
All right. It goes by two different names.
Ooh.
So Aquarius or Stage Fright.
Oh yeah.
From '87.
Oh, I have that movie, I think.
It's the same director as
Cemetery Man.
Cemetery Man.
Yes, I have that movie, I'm pretty sure. Are you really asking me this question?
Which Hannibal Lecter film is your favorite?
I mean, there is only one answer to this question.
Manhunter, of course.
I mean, yeah, that's what I was going with.
But the Michael Mann movie.
Yeah.
That is a good movie.
Some of the questions that we get on this channel are so wild. I try to stay focused, but my ADHD just won't let me. That question just fucked me up, dude. Like, I almost thought you were. I was just like, what?
Man, Hannibal Lecter, everything about it is like number one for me. Like, I just,
really?
Dude, yeah. Silence of the Lambs.
I watched the show.
The show was great.
The show was very good.
Yeah. I even like the one everybody hates, Hannibal Rising. I thought that was pretty
I
awesome.
like all of the movies. I haven't watched one that I didn't like, but I mean, Silence of the Lambs is so far beyond what any of the other ones are, in my opinion, that it's just not even really a question.
Yeah.
The one with Ray Liotta was cool. Which one was that?
The
Red
Edward
Dragon.
Norton one?
Red Dragon? Is that what Red Dragon?
Red
I
Dragon.
like that one because I like Ray Liotta, but I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't anywhere close to as good as
The
Silence of
same
the Lambs.
It's the same movie as Manhunter. It's a retelling.
Oh, that's right. That's awesome. Oh, jeez.
Brian Cox plays Hannibal Lecter and Manhunter.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he does, doesn't he?
I haven't seen any of these in a long time.
Yeah, I haven't watched Silence. Krista,
I watched Silence of the Lambs not too long ago.
I want Krista to watch Silence of the Lambs with me, but she has this weird feeling that it's, I don't know. I don't think it's too bad for her to watch. If she's watching this other stuff with me,
I think
that's
she
a
can
good
handle
Halloween
that
one.
I think she'll like it, honestly. I think it'll be one that she actively enjoys because it's a great movie.
Yeah,
and the suspense is freaking, dude, it's like, I mean, it's fantastic. It's not scary. It's just suspenseful. The whole time you're like, and it's got one of the best, you know what? I'm going to shut up, dude. The last part of that movie's got some stuff in it that's like top of the food chain for what it does.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'll just stop talking about it until we watch it and we'll talk about it. Red Dragon was a little too slow for me, not enough action. You know, I can enjoy a slow burn from every now and then. But I'm doing a Terrifier 2 gore score review video tonight. I'm pretty excited to get that dropped tomorrow. I've been waiting for the channel to get monetized. I don't know if it'll do anything or not, but I'm excited to and then there was an actor that I reached out to. Oh, I wish I could remember his name. I have so much stuff going on. That I reached out to him to do a video. He's interested, but he's in a spot where his internet is not very good, and they can't get like landline. I don't know what's it called. He can't get like plugged in internet. He only has access to Wi-Fi, and so he said that he did a thing last week, and it just was miserable. It kept spotting out on him. So he said, "Why don't I get you in touch with my directors and see if they'll do it with you first, and then once I get my stuff situated, we'll talk." So I might have some film directors on in a few weeks, which would be pretty cool.
Nice.
You know, just small time horror guys, but that's right up my alley. I'm stoked.
Awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, it'd be really neat to have more people involved. And then I have a short film called I don't know if it has a title, to be honest with you, but I met a couple at my shop that, you know how you meet people and oftentimes you'll hear like, oh yeah, I'm trying to make a movie or I'm trying to make a short film or whatever. And like, I mean, even with me, I'm constantly in the process of writing this thing, right? And I mean, is it ever going to come to fruition? I don't know. I'd like to say yes. Well, I met this couple who was telling me about this film that they were making and blah, blah, blah. And they were really, really cool, man. I enjoyed talking to them. And so I gave them my information. And then I woke up yesterday to another email. And he's like, hey, man, here's a link to that film. And I was like, dude, let's go. So they actually have something they could show me. And so I'm going to check it out, make sure it fits on the channel. And I think I'm going to do a little review and like watch it on the channel. They said I could do whatever that I want with it. So I think that's pretty neat. I'll be doing that in next couple of days. But with the channel being monetized, finally, it's opening up a lot of it's motivating. It's it's motivating. It's making me want to put some quality work in. So
for sure,
we'll see what I can come up with in the next few weeks. I may have to have you guys on some separate videos just to do something a little different. Me and Hugh still need to do the cell block one. I haven't watched it. It's pulled out on my shelf sitting on the thing. I just haven't had time. But
all good, man.
Cool. Yeah. Well, why don't we talk about it this weekend and see if we can schedule something? Get it knocked out. Cool. All right, man. So what's the movie called again, Chris?
Aquarius. Stage Fright.
Stage Fright's the name I know it as.
Yeah.
Stage Fright. Okay, Stage Fright. Awesome. Aquarius. Well, we're gonna watch Stage Fright. Is that available on a streaming service by any chance?
Yes, it's on most of like the free stuff, like Tubi.
Let's go.
Tubi, Vudu.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna watch Stage Fright. It's available on Tubi and Vudu for sure. If you guys want to watch it with us, we'll be back next week for episode 109. I think I'm just going to call this show Movie of the Week at this point. It's just the easy name to remember, easy to put on thumbnails. So we'll be back next week with. Oh wait, let me look at my schedule. And I'll tell you guys what day. I don't even know. Okay. I think it's Tuesday again. I'm almost sure of it. So I think it's Tuesday again.
Okay.
But awesome, man. Well, it's lovely talking to you guys. I'm glad to see you. Looking forward to this weekend. Everybody else, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. Thank you for the support of the channel. It's amazing, man. I love you guys. So I hope you all have a great day. We'll see you soon. Peace.